My name is Saba Nafees. I'm 25 years old and a PhD candidate studying mathematical biology at Texas Tech University. I live in Lubbock, Texas. I'm undocumented and unafraid. So DACA stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. So basically, if you come to the US when you were under the age of 16, there are a lot of criteria actually that you have to go through in order to be able to qualify for DACA. But if you do meet all those criteria, then the government can give you this protection basically for being deported. So it is an executive order, which means that, with new presidency, it can be taken away. When I realized what it did for myself and hundreds of thousands of young people, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I have to keep promoting this, and I have to keep getting other young people to sign up for this, because it's doing all this good stuff for me. I'm able to actually be a normal student.
A statement as to why she needs the DACA here?
I don't know what will happen with the DACA renewals, so it better go out quicker than later. Mine expires in May, so I'm just around the 120, 150 day period where I'm supposed to send in my application for renewal.
How long does renewal usually take?
The DACA? It can take anywhere from a few months to 6 months.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Have a great trip.
Thank you.
We'll be in contact with you.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
The executive order gets rescinded. One good thing about
you'll rescind that one too?
One good thing
you'll
about
rescind the Dream Act executive
you're
order.
Have to.
The DACA.
We have to make a whole new set of standards. And when people come in, they have
So
to
you're
come in.
going to split up families.
Chuck,
You're going to deport children.
Chuck, no. We're going to keep the families together. We have to keep the families together.
But you're going to keep
But
them
they have
together
to
out?
go. But they have to go.
What if they have no place to go?
We will work with them. They have to go.
So when we came back in 2004, my grandparents were trying to sponsor my mom for a green card. And by the time we moved over, our green card petition had already been approved. So that was a really good sign. The reason why we moved in 2004 rather than later when we actually had the green card was because my grandparents were very sick. My grandfather was on his deathbed, so my mom came in March 2004 and actually watched him, die in front of her. And that was very tough for the family. But we had already made plans to move so that at least we could be next to, my grandmother who was still alive. So we came in legally with a visitor visa, actually. But then ultimately my grandmother also passed away. It just left us with no other choice but to decide whether we could stay in the US or go back to Pakistan.
I have 3 daughters, and I want that to give them a good life and educations. Whatever I wanted that my kids to be, that's the only place I have chosen, and I have no regret. But it was nice to have this country as we dream it, that one day she will be there and she will be a good person for the community. And she is doing very, very good. It's beyond my imagination, and I thought this is the right place for her. In our country, she won't be like that. There are so many talent, but America is really dreamland. So everybody comes here to take risk of their lives and start life again here, which is so hard. Different culture, different people, but we adjust. And they adjust us. They never bother us. They always trying to help. And that's the American people are really the best. They're taking care for humanity They are fighting for humanity.
If you're an undocumented person living in the US right now, it is extremely difficult to get lawful status in the US. Not impossible, but very, very difficult. So, like in Saba's case, if you entered the US lawfully and then you overstayed your visa, there's a small exception that allows those people to adjust their status to become lawful permanent residents and excuse that unlawful presence that they have because they entered lawfully.
I wasn't really thinking about, being undocumented or trying to find a solution. I thought, my parents were taking care of that, and they did their best, but, whoever they consulted said, try to seek asylum or try to, wait until, maybe Congress will pass something that will help undocumented immigrants like yourself. So, my father had to make the very difficult decision to stay here so that we could go to school and go to high school, go to college, have the opportunities that, that America gives to young people like myself.
There are a lot of restrictions and hurdles in her life, and my restriction also, because she played tennis, she want to play choir, she has to go for the all students activities and everything, and she want to be help everywhere to students also. She finished everything before time, but I stopped her. I said, one day you will have to be stopped because there is nothing, no documents. So she really realized that, and she slowed down. Otherwise, she has so many trophies here. Every year she got it in every school. She has an outstanding student award for every school from the class 5. They will say student of the year, Saba Nafees, and the picture of her. So this is the dream, that if somebody comes here and work hard and all, this country is for them. This country is for them.
Hey, I need your help.
Like, food's pretty much the easiest way to connect, like, between cultures. Like that is. I mean, if it tastes good, it tastes good. So that was probably like my first connection with Saba, was the food.
Adi. Yeah, Daniel would come over and have the food that my mom makes. And Daniel fell in love with the food, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Before he fell in love.
Before I fell in love with you, probably. So the first time we hung out, she told me what her immigration status was, and I guess I didn't really know what that meant to be undocumented at the time, and so it didn't necessarily resonate with me or make any sense. It just seemed like, oh, well, she just doesn't have immigration papers. It's hard for me to get in the mindset of then, but so yeah, she was up front. It was like literally one of the first conversations that we had was, this is what I have to go through.
I think at first he was just like, what? You're undocumented? What does that mean? Like, where were you born? Okay, when did you come? Like, how did you become undocumented? Like, I don't think he'd ever run across anybody like me before. And I said, well, also, I'm gonna leave the country and I'm gonna be gone for a bit, but we could still talk. And if you're really serious, I want you to know that, my dad has, told me about a couple of proposals that are waiting. So I just want you to know that's how things work in our culture, and if you and I are really interested in each other and we want to make sure that this continues to go on as a good, fruitful relationship, then we're gonna have to talk about marriage, and you're gonna have to talk to my dad about it. He was like, oh my God, that's crazy. He's like, wait a minute, there are proposals? Like, what? So his thing, and even to this day, he's like, well, if I hadn't acted right, then somebody else would have gotten you.
We were in Fort Worth, and her dad was like, all right, let's just get court married. And so we went to the courthouse to fill out the paperwork to do the court marriage. And we didn't anticipate him being like court married on that day. We were just kind of like there to fill out the paperwork, and then the judge was like, well, do y'all guys want to we could just get married right now. And so, her dad is a practical guy, and, he was like, yeah, sure, let's do this. So we were like, okay. So we were like legally married in May. And as soon as we got back to Lubbock, we started the immigration process. We filled out our forms, we paid our fees, and then it was just, we wait.
And then in 2016, we got married in May in the courthouse. So that was the actual, American wedding. And then in the summer, we planned a big, Pakistani-style wedding. So that was really great. His family got to see the culture, got to feel the culture, and it was really awesome. We had Pakistani food, our clothes came from Pakistan. It was really amazing, and it was a beautiful time.
May Allah and may God bless both of you. May He put blessings in everything that you guys do together, and may He bless every endeavor that you do moving forward, and may He unite you in nothing but the best and that which is good for each other. I ask God that He blesses both of you. I ask God that He blesses your lives here on moving forward.
That was something, my parents really wanted to do. I think they started to feel, starting last year, I think they really started to feel that their time in this country may be limited, and they really wanted to make sure that, the last couple of years that they might have, they celebrate during those years with their children. And so I think that's another reason why, we decided to have the wedding in the way we did. After that, the fall semester started, and so it was interesting, having a spouse and then being a graduate student and doing, the rest of life. And it's actually a really great feeling, I think. You have a partner to share everything with, and you can, at this point he knows about, my family's situation, and he's been, there for my parents, and it's really good to have somebody who could be there and give an outside perspective on this undocumented life that my family and I lead. In general, the administration is doing a lot of different things right now. Their focuses are in different places, and therefore the petition Daniel filed for me upon our marriage is still stuck in the administrative, world. So it's going to take a while for that petition to be approved. And once it does get approved, then we go to court, to immigration court. If they approve our marriage, if they think it's actually valid, because we had to submit lots of documentation, to show we're on debit cards, credit cards together, we're on insurance together, we have to show photos. So if DACA was to go away, I'd still be undocumented, because Daniel's petition for me hasn't been approved yet.
Or even more complicated, if DACA were to go away, her court case could be reopened and she could be deported.
True. Recently when we were back home with my family, we've really just been preoccupied with kind of trying to figure out the future for our family, and trying to figure out what will happen, what's the plan, what we all need to do in terms of helping my parents and consolidating our family somehow. And We even said that, while I'm here in Lubbock and he's here working in Lubbock, they could come and live with us for another couple years if they're able to. So we've discussed all these options, so we'll see. I think the last couple years with Daniel, it's been more, kind of figuring out the family dynamics. He's like a son to my dad. My dad was just three of us daughters, right? So he doesn't have a son. So he treats his son-in-laws, Daniel and my oldest sister's husband, as his own sons. So that's really great. I think he feels really blessed because, having another son-in-law who is not Pakistani, but from the outside, but wanting to learn and wanting to be part of the culture and the family, I think he feels really grateful for that. So it's been really good so far.
Her dad was immediately, I felt a connection with him. He is a wise person, a very respectable person, and he treated me like anybody else, really. We had a very frank conversation. His conversation was like, "What's your intention with my daughter?" Like any, I guess, father, would be, especially like the father of Saba. It's like, who are you? And I knew I wasn't the first guy to come around, just like any normal, courtship, I guess. But I just told him that I loved Saba, and sorry, it's kind of tough. I gave him a photo of the first time I met Saba. That's kind of like how I met Saba, was that I took her photo and I printed it off and I gave it to him. Yeah.
Every day in the newspaper, something new, something which is not good for the people. Before the immigrations, they say that good people will stay here, nobody will touch them. They can stay here as long as they are good for the community and everything. But no, the time has changed. Before I don't take the blood pressure medication, now I have to take every day with all these. In a situation, yeah, I have to worry about it. So, but I'm doing good as much as I can. I don't think much. I try to be busy myself. That's it.
Probably just throw it out there and it's going to be up for grabs. And you guys can eye contact with each other to say like, oh, I want this, I don't want this, or whatever. And cut each other off and fight for the speaking opportunities.
I did have one question I want to discussion ask you. I always have a very hard time answering this question. It is, what is your idea of the American dream? I have a very hard time answering
and also that that one, and also what do you expect from the future and ideal American life? That's another thing it's really hard to pin down what that even means. Because we're just in a survival mode right now.
No, it's not that. I think as part of the answer, I think part of the impact is going to be to show how hard these basic questions are to answer for people like us. Like my response to the kind of where do you see yourself question is always like, never ask an undocumented person that, because I live my life on a 2-year basis.
Say that.
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah.
1.8 years, 1.5.
Oh, you're our guide. I'm following you. You're the guide.
This is the green room. You're gonna check in?
Yes, this is it. Yep.
All right. Bedroom deferred.
Yes.
Is everyone here?
Yes, everyone's here.
Excellent.
Copy that, Tiffany.
We all will be room 203, 204. So
Okay.
your table should be back here. We've got some complimentary beverages for y'all.
Great.
You can get show up 30 minutes before your presentation.
Thanks everyone for coming. It really is my privilege to be up here today with three incredible women, three friends who are all extraordinary, talented, and most of all, very, very courageous for being up here with me this afternoon. I want to start this off. I didn't have any other slides, but this literally was a tweet from Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement's 72 hours ago, which is echoing what the DACA program is. So if you take a look at this real quick, which says DACA is not a protected legal status, but active DACA recipients are typically a, quote, lower level of enforcement priority. You see there at the bottom, deferred action may be revoked anytime, especially when someone commits a crime or poses a national security threat or public safety threat. So it's very, very important for this conversation for us all to understand that. It's also important that for everyone to understand that while the current president may have recently softened his tone on ending DACA, his campaign rhetoric and aggressive immigration enforcement policies since he took office has made many of these young immigrants very, very fearful that they may be deported at any time.
So the way I found out I was undocumented was, I guess in high school, it really hit me because, you couldn't go get a driver license and all that like your friends were doing. And then when I came to college, your friends, you see them going with their parents to do college visits and things like that. That was not an opportunity you could have because you just had to kind of pick, okay, you can go to one place and that's it. And you kind of, you don't have that opportunity to pursue educational freedom like the rest of my American friends did, unfortunately. And so that's when it really hit me. And then in 2012, just like Annie, I have a very similar story. ICE came to our door. I guess somebody had reported us, and they, said, hey, we know that, there are 5 of you. It's, my 2 parents, my 2 older sisters, and myself. And we know that you're undocumented, and so we need to see your passports. Essentially that was an arrest. So that was really tough. I was here at Texas Tech, so they said, well, where's the youngest daughter? And my parents said, well, that's where she is. They called me up, and they were actually really nice. They saw that my parents invited them over inside the house. Usually ICE officials are expecting people to run away or leave out of the window, flush their passports. But my dad, he welcomed them. He said, do you need anything? Do you need tea? And this is like 2 in the morning, and these officials are really stunned. They're like, wow, these people are just trying to do the right thing. It's a family. I mean, this is like, an apartment. This looks like a home, It doesn't look like, a camping place. They're just moving around from one place to another. And so they were amazed, and they, said, hey, we're gonna help you out, and we're gonna make this as easy as possible for you. And that's the ICE that used to exist, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago. Now with ICE being the way it is, I'm not sure how much discretion they'll continue to give my parents. Our instincts are to really not think about the worst case scenario, because it really forces us to relive something in the future that sounds extremely scary. So I think that's where we're all at right now, is we don't even want to assume it'll happen, because we wouldn't know what to do. It would just be life-changing.
So the options for Saba's parents when she goes for an ICE check-in can vary. So her parents could go in, and a friendly ICE officer could say, okay, I see here you're checking in. You haven't committed any major crimes since your last check-in. We're really backed up in terms of our deportation efforts. So we're going to defer this deportation to next year, come back and check in 6 months from now, 12 months from now, and that's when we're going to deport you. So there's no relief, they're still deportable, but in a best case scenario, they could defer that deportation by 6 months, 12 months, however long it is. Worst case scenario, they show up, they get an officer who could care less that they haven't committed any crimes or done anything wrong, and the officer could say, thank you very much for checking in, I'm now putting you in handcuffs, and now you're being deported. Just like that. Simple as that.
Was that them?
Yeah, just my sister texting me that they're I don't think the attorney's there yet, but I'm sure she will show up.
So April 5th, they got this check-in date last year when they last checked in, which was in October. So they were told to come back on April 5th, but October was before the elections and before things changed. So they were like, okay, sure, we've been checking in every 6-8 months, year. We don't mind going back, so we'll just see how it goes right now. So, yeah. Great. The attorney just texted me back and said she's with them and they're waiting to be called. Oh, wow. They're done. They got their next check-in date for January 2018.
Wow, that's a long ways away.
Yeah, that's like 9 months, yeah.
You know, and I'm just glad that you, I don't know, just feel like you saved them.
Me? Yeah. How did I just did what I thought was necessary, I guess.
Right, well.
I want us to be there, at least I need myself to be there when my parents meet with Abby again to talk about the future, because
Yeah, and we'll at least like have our interview soon.
About that, we need to talk about that. You need to start memorizing dates and stuff.
Oh yeah, like May 15th?
No, May 16th, you... It was May 16th. Oh my god.
May 16th. Oh yeah, that's when we got married. Okay.
Okay, you have some work to do.
Okay, I do. I love you.
I love you too. I'll talk to you soon.
Alright.
Okay, bye. See, I told you. He didn't know the date we got married in the court. No, May 15th. It was May 16th. Anyway, okay. He'll work on it, I guess, and we will continue to practice until he gets it right.
We're going to show great heart. DACA is a very, very difficult subject for me, I will tell you. To me, it's one of the most difficult subjects I have because you have these incredible kids, in many cases, not in all cases. In some of the cases, they're having DACA and they're gang members and they're drug dealers too. But you have some absolutely incredible kids, I would say mostly. They were brought here in such a way, it's a very, very tough subject. We are going to deal with DACA with heart. I have to deal with a lot of politicians, don't forget. And I have to convince them that what I'm saying is right.
We're still eating those?
Yeah, they're really good. They're from DC. My dad was joking, like, here, Trump sent you these to my uncle.
Oh, really? That's funny.
And my uncle's like, I will never eat those. Wait, what are you doing?
I'm trying to figure this out. It's confusing.
This is the right way. I actually know the way, so even if this doesn't work, it's okay.
Hey.
It's all right. Watch the bumps. Daniel can't see speed bumps at all.
I'm kind of cross-eyed.
And then rightmost lane and turn, hit your blinker. You see where it has immigration attorneys?
Ah.
Blinker.
In 300 feet,
Right here?
Yep. Your destination is on the right. Right there. It doesn't say Wittenberg anywhere. There, right there.
Oh, okay.
God, where are you going?
I saw it. That's a majestic bird. It doesn't even look real.
We have to put the handbrake or whatever it's called. Okay. We're here. Do you wanna like...
What do I? It says Wittenberg right there.
I know we're here. Okay, yeah, I know. It's just not big.
Oh.
Okay.
Come on in.
We haven't heard. Anyway, that's.
I mean, you filed the I-130 and you haven't heard anything yet.
Well, we heard back in February that they sent over the case to Dallas office, but we haven't gotten an
Because you
interview.
had
Same thing as my dad. Yeah.
But you had a lawful
entry. Yes.
Entry.
Yes.
Okay. But you had did you have an order like your dad?
Yeah. Well, because remember the ICE came to our house
And picked everybody up. But your sister, she was already an LPR.
Well, by the time by the time Michael B. Baird, the judge, saw us in 2013, a year later, both of my sisters were married.
Residents.
Yeah, they
were married.
Yeah,
and their
and so
process.
he terminated their cases, but he didn't terminate mine, and that's why.
I think that's maybe where the confusion lies. Because there were cases that were terminated, but not all the cases were terminated. When we checked, your parents had a final order.
Something, I guess, that I run into a lot is, people are like, oh, she's married to you, she's good. Which is not, right?
Well,
and also, I guess, to add on to that, well, why can't you just petition for her parents?
You would think, a lot of people have the belief that if you're married to a U.S. citizen, you're set, then everything is fine. But under the regulations, there's what's called admissibility, right? So you have to look at, is this person eligible to become a green card holder? Are they eligible for lawful permanent residency? Now, you can be married to a U.S. citizen, that's fine, and that person can petition for you. But then you have to look at, is she eligible to become a resident? And that's independent from you. So you have to look at, how does she enter the United States? Does she have a lawful entry into the United States? Or is she going to have to do a consulate process? Has she had any periods of inadmissibility or unlawful presence in the United States? Not inadmissibility, but unlawful presence. Has she been here without authorization? How long? If she leaves, has she left? Because if she leaves, she's going to trigger some bars. So you have to look at that. Are there any criminal issues? You could be married to a citizen, but if you have a serious criminal charge or you've been convicted, then that can make you ineligible. Are there any security issues? So you have to look at other things. It's not this magic thing where I'm married to a U.S. citizen and where everything's fine. You could still be removed from the United States, even married to a U.S. citizen.
Like, the more information, it's so complicated.
I felt like after this family incident, it was important to come up with an idea of what's going to happen before he started to just plan for something.
I think it's important, and I think it's important to inform your clients. That's a basic principle, But it's important because people need to know what's going to happen. It's their life that's at risk. It's their livelihood. It's where they're living. It's their families, where they're going to raise their kids. And it's really important to have a plan and for them to know it and to understand their case. And the more informed the client is, they feel like they have more control over what's happening, And they're not, just not understanding all these changes that are going to happen that are affecting their everyday life.
I'm here today to announce that the program known as DACA that was effectuated under the Obama administration is being rescinded. The DACA program was implemented in 2012 and essentially provided a legal status for recipients for a renewable 2-year term, work authorization, and other benefits, including participation in the Social Security program to 800,000 mostly adult illegal aliens.
DACA has ended, and her legal status is questionable. She still has a work permit, and I the last word that we got was I had to do something about Saba's A file. So what happened was that someone turned them in when she started college here, and her parents went through deportation proceedings and they were ordered to leave. So yeah, like a case is still in limbo for Saba to be deported. Only thing protecting her is DACA. And then ICE is holding on to her A file for some reason because of that case, and we can't move forward on our immigration because we're waiting on the paperwork to get sent from one department to another, some bureaucracy thing. And Saba is, any problem, she's on it, you know? And so she has been in contact with our local congressman, our local senator, Senator Cornyn.
They told me, well, you know, we've checked into your case and it seems like it'll take maybe 60 days for USCIS to schedule your interview. So the rest of the year goes by and we don't even hear anything about it. So, you know, this whole time, most of the year we spent last year just waiting. So that was really frustrating. And then just a few weeks ago, actually like maybe last week, we heard from USCIS that they would schedule our interview within the next 60 days. So that's another, you know, time we've heard the 60-day thing. So hopefully this time this will work, because they did say that when your interview is scheduled and when you do your interview, a decision will be made within the next 30 days. Sometimes the decision's made right then, but I don't think in our case that will be the case. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm sure that there are people who will, whether they're government officials or just people on the street, like, that will question the legitimacy of it. And what do you have,
Yeah, I don't blame someone for thinking that way, you know, because it's kind of a crazy thing. And people, you know, like, humans are really great at building stories in their brain, you know. Some people aren't that creative. Yeah, that's come up, you know. My brother said that to me once, and it didn't hurt me. I think if Saba wanted to get married to someone for documents, there are plenty of available bachelors out there, and she would have found someone with better credentials than what I have. And, you know, I don't know why she chose me. It's just so strange, you know, like, you know, it's like, I just met her, you know. I took her photo. And then she was like, I need help, you know. And, you know, she helps me too, you know. I told her that I wanted to be a better person. So, you know, whatever, man. You know, if it's not real, that's your own thing. It's, you know, to me, it's real, and we're going down together. And I'm cool with that, you know.
The president has given us till March to deal with the issue of DACA. And the question is whether you're just going to do that and nothing else. I'm in favor of doing something on the DACA front. These kids came here through no act of their own. I think they have a legitimate case to be made. But I don't think we ought to just do that. A chain migration, doing something about the diversity lottery. There are plenty of changes to the legal immigration system that should be added to any kind of a DACA fix that we do.
गाड़ी में रख दिया?
Yeah.
तो ये सब कहीं मेरे को ये तरह दे दे ये दोनों को
Boarded at gate 3, flight 628, looking for passenger Carol Carey. Please make your way to gate 3 immediately for boarding. The doors will be closing in 3 minutes and will not be reopened. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome for continuation of flight number 1537 going on to DC, continuing on to Providence. Flight attendants here to serve you today. We have Allison in back, Debbie in mid-cabin. My name is Vicki Sinal.
We are here to demand for a Clean Dream Act. We are here for something that does not include reinforcements. As a DACA recipient throughout my whole life, I knew I was undocumented. It was something that I was ashamed at most times, but I am no longer ashamed because I am empowered by my community of undocumented folks.
And we're here to tell him that no, that our communities cannot wait, that my brother cannot wait, that I refuse to go back home on Christmas and tell my brother that there is no Dream Act.
Down, down on deportation, up on education, down, down on deportation, up on education, down, on deportation.
Let's be clear about this. When we're talking about our dreamers, when we're talking about our DACA youth, we are talking about an example of some of the best of what this country does. And we must protect our DACA youth and our dreamers. And we must understand that their dreams are our dreams.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing. I sing and speak of my country, land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside. O America, listen to this plea. O mother country, forgive me for this loyalty. Of both I sing. But which is my country? I am amidst two homes, both equal, both beloved. For I owe my birth to one, but my art to another, my seeds to one, but my nurture to the other. Land of the pilgrim's pride, but America, you are this pilgrim's pride. If only you remain my guide, and if only you embrace my side, I shall sing, let freedom ring.
Two, 3 days before, maybe week, 10 days or 2 weeks, when the date is coming up, I'm controlling myself very hard, you know. I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to do anything, it's too hard. It's very difficult. The time goes, the day will come, everything will be sorted out.
Do exactly what it's saying because you missed your turn.
No, I didn't.
We were in front of the building. It's a brown building. We passed it. It's just the entrance is for authorized personnel only.
No, there was this first entrance that
No,
you
it
missed.
wasn't.
Just listen to me and stop arguing and do exactly what. There's no other entrance. Just go, do what it says. No, don't do that. Go up here and take a right.
Turn right onto North Stemmons Freeway.
यहाँ से पीछे से रास्ता है क्योंकि आगे जाके then there I don't know what entrance there was because I can show you.
Well, you weren't paying attention. That's
no,
why you
we'll
missed
make
it.
the same block and I'll show you.
We were here before. We were here on the same road.
Checks payable to...
Watch out.
Woo!
Well, we'll just stay in the car.
Huh?
We'll just
stay in the car? I imagine they know where to go and I can follow them.
Yeah.
All right, it was great meeting you.
Meet you too. See you in a bit.
So we don't know anything until they come out. Well, it's cold out there.
So weird. It's like warm and
So what happened?
they're gonna go back in June.
In June?
Yeah.
Yep. We get on June 10th. June 12th.
June 12th.
8 o'clock in the morning. It's too much stress. You can't explain. You can't say. The saying is that the person who is in the grave, he knows what's going to be happened. Nobody else outside is a different word. But the person who is in the grave, what he feels, nobody else can feel it. So, I'm in the same situation, so I know what I feel it, even though I try to be good, laugh and talk and all, but inside you're almost dead.
Yeah.
Almost dead. Yeah.
Do you have enough Republican votes to keep the government open this week? And can you look at a dreamer in the eye and promise them that you will put a standalone bill to help them, regardless of what else is included, on the floor of the House?
Look, we've been very clear. We want to see a DACA solution. But a DACA solution has got to be a balanced solution. A DACA solution has to be a solution that also not just treats the symptom, which DACA is, but the root cause of the problem in the first place. I feel that it makes no sense for Democrats to try and bring us to a shutdown.
So as you know, January 19th came and passed, and we had a 3-day government shutdown, and we still didn't accomplish what we were hoping to accomplish. So at this point, you know, everything's back on the table. We're starting from step one again, and we have no hopes at this moment. We feel very defeated because the Democrats didn't stand up for us, because, you know, this was our chance. And I can understand that shutting down the government for just one issue, for one set of people, is somewhat selfish, and that we shouldn't do that. I also think that people who are not in this movement, people who do not suffer from what we're suffering with, they can't imagine, and they can never understand or experience what it feels like to just keep on fighting, and the emotional burden and stress that it has on the mind. So I feel like if this is the only way, then this is the only way. If shutting down the government is the only way, then that's what it's gonna be. So if we don't attach, you know, what we want to, you know, a government spending bill, then we're not going to get anywhere. And what hopes do we have that Congress will do something by March 5th? So I think that's been the battle so far, and currently we still are back to square one, trying to figure out what to do next.
Nearly 7 in 10 Americans support an immigration reform package that includes a permanent solution on DACA. I mean, I've been hearing about DACA for so many years. Some people call it dreamers. It's not dreamers. Don't fall into that trap. It's just much different than dreamers. And I said the other night, you know, we have dreamers too. We have dreamers in this country too. We can't forget our dreamers. I have a lot of dreamers here. But DACA, we want to take care of DACA.
So did you watch any of the stuff on yesterday?
No.
Any of the Senate voting?
I didn't watch, but I kept getting like emails every hour. It's like, hey, this is what's going on, this is what we want, et cetera, et cetera. So I was like kind of keeping up with that, but I, really didn't want to have an active role in being updated with that because I knew nothing would happen. So essentially, once you have any case pending in USCIS, you can check the status by knowing your receipt number. Okay, so I've successfully logged in after multiple tries, but so here are the receipt numbers that I have inquired about. Yeah, there's no change. It says February 3rd, we received your Form I-130, February 3rd of last year. Petition for alien relative, receipt number, blah, 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 at your local office. So yeah, August 2nd, so they have this case history area where they show you, what's been going on, and then here in the middle, they tell you the latest update. So August 2nd, 2016 is when they received Daniel's petition for me, the I-130. Between August and February, I guess it was sitting in USCIS's federal office, or at the higher federal level. And then on February 3rd, they sent his petition for me to the Dallas office, which is the office that's supposed to schedule my interview. Yeah. So did I tell you that my cousin passed away? Okay, so that was not this past weekend, the weekend before, so almost 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that was very difficult for my dad, for sure, very, very difficult. So, the last I talked to him, which was last Sunday, this past Sunday, 5 days ago, he was just, I don't know how much longer I could stay here because, by the time I get something worked out with my situation here, and I get to go back and visit, I'll be standing at everybody's grave. What's the point then? And that just was hit me real hard because I was like, I don't even know what's a good response to that. He's absolutely right. I don't know, it's a very, very tough little conundrum, so yeah, they're not doing too good. It's his birthday tomorrow, so.
Where's the letter, dude?
It's in the car. Can we get it?
No, we don't have to get it.
I got the letter right here.
Well, what about the rest of the mail?
Oh, it's still in the car, but we can open this here in a second. What do you think it's gonna say? I think this is still cold. How long did you
touching my food.
Oh, okay.
God.
Well, your hands are cleaner than mine.
This is weird. Why it's like handwritten like that? It's
I
not
know.
like that. It's probably the same exact thing they emailed about.
I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah, I might just rip it. Okay. Oh yeah, it's the receipt number thing. Oh yeah, so this is like the information on what time? March 26th, 9 a.m. Driver license, birth certificates, and all passports. Where's your birth certificate?
I have it.
Marriage license, birth certificate.
Wait, do we have our marriage license?
Yes. Please make sure all documentation you have been asked to submit is correct and complete. Blah, blah, blah. Signed. Why do we have to sign this?
Saying that we know that we got it. I have to sign it.
I don't know about that.
It's the first step.
Yeah, we need to prepare for the interview.
Who knows how long it'll take?
Sometimes it doesn't take very long. The interview or the whole thing?
Could you open this a little bit better?
No. It's okay, you have to put it in. I have to scan it.
Well, it needs to be in something protected. So let's put it back in here.
I don't know if this is everything, but
It's okay. It doesn't matter if it's everything.
I have a folder called Saba. Let me see if it's in there. Saba needs to find her birth certificate. That's what we need to find. We couldn't find it last night, and we have a copy, and trip to Miami.
Yeah, I don't have my, like, the original one, the one in Urdu, so.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
So I think we should go over the questions that she sent us. You want to?
Sure.
What did you do for Christmas, New Year's, your anniversary, your spouse's last birthday? Did you exchange gifts?
Oh God. We don't really exchange.
I made you
gifts.
cannolis.
Oh yeah, you did.
Did you or your spouse go to work yesterday? If so, what time did you and your spouse leave the house?
We didn't work yesterday.
Who cooks the meals at the house? What's your spouse's favorite food? What's
Come
your
on,
favorite food?
slow down, man.
Does your spouse drink coffee? If so, does he or she use
I drink
cream or
coffee.
sugar?
You drink tea.
Yes. Do you eat dinner together last night? Did anyone else
We
have dinner
usually
with you?
eat dinner together.
What did you have? What time was dinner served? Who cooked it?
It's usually
did you
like
watch
around
TV after
9:30.
dinner? What shows did you
We don't watch
We watch
TV.
Monk together.
But yeah,
At
we
what
do
time
watch
do you
Monk.
go to bed? Who went to bed first? Did you have the air
I
conditioning
usually
or
go to
heater
bed
on?
first and you stay up.
Okay, did you have the AC or heater on?
I
Who
have
woke
the
up
AC
first this
on.
morning? Did an
I
alarm
usually
clock
wake
go
up
off?
first and you
Didn't-
wake
didn't-
up like.
Excuse me, I wake up first.
You wake up like
Okay.
in the mid-afternoon.
This is talking about this morning.
I'm
This
talking
tomorrow
about
morning.
in general mornings.
No,
like,
that's not what it
you
asks.
wake up like this.
Who
You're like,
woke up in the... Okay, whatever. Moving on. Did you or your spouse take a shower? Oh God, I hope. Did you come to the interview together? Who drove? Did you have breakfast? Where and what did you eat?
this isn't productive for you. Okay. I think we're fine. You know, things aren't really going to be different, like, afterwards, but they actually, like, will be really different because we won't have this huge pressure over us anymore. So, I don't know.
Did you do
Can I have a piece?
I'm gonna back to the car and start it.
Be careful.
What do you mean?
Let me see. Be careful.
Somebody here.
That looks like a spot right there. All right.
Oh my god, we were 9 minutes early.
Better be.
Actually, 39 minutes early. You got your, yeah, I can pull it up.
Do we have all our documents?
They're in here. They're in there.
Okay.
You just hold that.
All right. What's up?
I'm gonna change it quick.
So much of what we've been through has been like, hurry up and wait. And so like a part of me wants to feel like relieved that it's over, but another part of me is kind of pessimistic in that it's not really over until you get the confirmation.
I don't know. Hopefully he will figure out his decision very soon and
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it took a while, but you know, it's,
or it could not take a while.
yeah, but you know, like, just keep working hard on what you're doing and stay the course, and I'll keep,
Yeah.
you
it'll be
know,
okay.
we'll just keep going.
Sign. We'll do our sign.
Oh, what?
The handshake.
Well, that's not how you do it.
It's. Oh right. okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yay. I'm good. I think we're done right now. Do you have any other questions?